hope you're all doing very well and taking care of yourselves and your near and dear ones. So today's session we are going to talk about conflict. I have a lot of clients and they come to me with various kinds of conflicts. Imagine a life free from clashes and conflicts. We would live in harmony and peace and enjoy a blissful life. But invariably, we end up in conflicts and clashes. It could be with people who are close to us, or people we work with, or people we are not close to. But conflicts create an energy blockage inside of us. They block our bliss, they block our happiness. So let's just look briefly into why do we get into conflicts. Imagine a king walking down a narrow lane and a bull coming his way, coming towards him fully charged. What would the king do? The king would move away. He will not say, "Hey, I'm the king, you move away." He will not say that because he wants to avoid injury to himself. And that's exactly what we need to learn. That we should try our best, if we make this one resolve, that no matter what, I will try not to get into any conflict or dispute. Then you will allow yourself to remain in a space of positivity and harmony. Okay. Look at the traffic rules that we follow. When we drive, we abide by the rules because we know that if we clash with someone, there's going to be an accident and it's going to cause me injury. I will be able to use my intellect to say that if a clash happens, an accident happens, both parties are going to go through injury. My ego will not tell me to, not follow the rules because my intellect knows that it can result in an injury. Because this injury can be experienced in my senses, through my senses, that's why I abide by the rules and I try not to clash with anyone. Even if I have the best car and someone is, not driving properly, I will save myself. Okay. But in relationships, what we do not understand is that our ego comes in the way, and we do not realize that by clashing with somebody, no matter superior, inferior, close, near one, dear one, or not so near or dear one, it causes a certain kind of negative energy and leaves a negative impact on both the people who engage in a clash. And because this negativity, because this subtle exchange of vengeance or subtle exchange of any kind of negative feeling is at a subtle level, our intellect does not immediately warn us. So our ego gets into conflict, and that's the first cause of conflict. The intellect does not take over our ego, so our ego gets into conflict. All conflicts arise from negative opinions usually, and negative speech arises from negative opinions or negative experiences. If we were to drop or heal our negative experiences or negative opinions about people and situations, we are far more likely to respond in a positive way without coming to any assumptions and conclusions. We will move ahead with curiosity and not playing already in our mind what's going to happen in this situation or with this person. So if we keep our ego low, and when I say ego, it means It could be a superior ego or an inferior ego. If I hold an inferior ego, then I'll be a victim. And if I hold a superior ego, or if I have strong opinions about right or wrong, this or that, good or bad, if I hold on to an opinion or hold on to a point of view, that's also ego, because I'm holding on to something very strongly and I only see things from that perspective. But when I am free-flowing, when I am easygoing, then I'm not holding on to an ego. If I'm easygoing, I cannot be caught in an ego. So when I'm not caught in an ego and I'm easygoing, I'm less likely to have a conflict. So all conflicts can be avoided if we are easygoing, don't engage in our ego through our opinions, judgments, through our limited cognitions about people and about their background or situations. And secondly, we can avoid conflict if we do not have any expectations. Okay, when I say expectations, we usually have, whenever things go wrong, we have this ideological conversation, in our mind. Oh, but this is not right. He shouldn't be doing this. Ideally, it should happen this way. I am not the best parent, the best wife, the best sister, the best daughter. If I was, I would be enlightened. Not everyone is the best of who they are. So engaging in this kind of ideological conversation and having this expectation of an ideal behavior and, having this expectation of this person to be, perfect is not very helpful, because none of us are. If we are willing to give ourselves some space and a chance, and willing to give other people some space and some chance, then we can move around in harmony. It's like if you see a pillar in front of you, do you go collide into it? No. If you see a pillar, you see a stone, you see a snake, or you see a wall, what do? We move away. And sometimes in life, some people represent a pillar or a snake or a stone or a wall, and all we have to do is to just gently move away and not get into a clash. Because when we do so, we avoid damage to ourselves as well as damage to them. So in my meditations, I teach precisely this. I teach to turn the awareness inwards and see, what have I not done right in this situation to cause this to myself? Because in any clash, in any conflict, I'm going to suffer. Whether I'm right or I'm wrong, I'm going to suffer. Even if I prove my point, the process of getting to a state where I have proved my point and I feel victorious is also not a very enjoyable process, because you have caused damage to somebody and that person is going to now hold some kind of negativity and vengeance towards you. If I'm going to be, interacting with that person, then that person is going to accumulate that negativity. It's going to be like a spring that has been compressed, and one day it's going to rebound. So our victory, our wins are also not our victory and wins because somebody is not happy. And it's only when me and the other person are undisturbed and at peace, that's when we can be at peace. It's okay, you can do it your way. It's okay, I agree with what you're saying. If we could just be a little more accepting and accommodating to hear and understand the other person out, and play down a little bit on our own expectations and desires and wanting things to be my way and perfect and in this way or that way, then we can avoid a lot of clashes. It's like this is something we learn in our life gradually after experiencing a lot of pain and suffering, because even before we learn to handle ourselves, and even before we are fully aware of who we are and how to handle our own selves, we sometimes get into a relationship. Even before I can fully be a great person, I become a parent. So we are already caught in relationships while we are still struggling to be the best of who we can be or who we want to be. And we all have these faults, and we all have these personality flaws, and we all have these wounds that we carry. So the situation in life, the people in life keep triggering those, and as a result we keep getting into those clashes. So every clash, when turned inwards, points towards either a strong opinion I hold, or the egoistic perspective I hold, or a wound that has got triggered by this person, or an unfulfilled expectation, maybe from my parent, from my past, from my previous experiences, that has some kind of incompletion still sitting inside of me that has caused this kind of unhappiness. Every conflict actually is an indication of something that's happening inside of me. And if it can be used as an opportunity to look inside and heal what needs to be healed, we will evolve in peacefulness. We will evolve as people who can live in peace and harmony. If just this one principle can be followed, that I will avoid clashing with people, and I will try to be as easygoing as possible in situations and with people, then we can avoid a lot of disharmony and a lot of heartache in our life. So as I said, developing this awareness requires consistency and dedication. Meditation definitely helps, and there are certain techniques that we use in order to grow this awareness. There are certain tools that we use in order to grow these awareness. There are certain keys that we use. So if I know the key, for example, that if I'm suffering, I have to look inside, and if I apply that key that, the sufferer is responsible, let's say, and if I am suffering and I hold myself responsible and I look inside, I will discover either my expectation that hasn't been fulfilled, or my wound that has been triggered, or my ego that has been causing this clash, or my limited cognition about the other person or the situation. If I am suffering, there is definitely something inside of me that has caused it. So when we learn these tools and these keys to apply in our life, we grow our self-awareness. When we grow our self-awareness slowly and gradually, we stop engaging in behavior that causes unhappiness to ourselves and to others. So essentially, self-awareness or meditation or mindfulness or, being very alert and in the present moment, all these help. So I invite you to my meditation session on resolving conflicts or releasing the old baggage, because a lot of times it's the baggage that we carry from our past that keeps triggering us consciously and unconsciously, and we keep getting into low moods and conflicts, internal as well as external. So I hope this session was useful, and I hope it will allow you to develop a little bit more awareness every time you get into a conflict. Analyze what is it that happened inside of you, because of which the conflict was caused, and what is it that has happened inside of you as a result of a conflict. I am sure you will find something that will allow you to expand and evolve. And the more you grow awareness of your own, blockages and faults and baggages and wounds, and you start healing them, just becoming aware of it is like, a wound being opened to sunshine, and the awareness or the sunshine just heals it. So grow your awareness, expand your compassion, be more tolerant, drop your rigid ideas, opinions, judgments, assumptions about people, about yourself, and about life. And you are bound to live a peaceful, harmonious, and happy life. I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.